You are listening to the Babe You've Got This podcast, where you receive mindset and business coaching designed for the everyday gal who has big goals and dreams and is craving that guidance, insight, and reaffirmation for creating success in their life. This is episode number 16, and today I'm talking with the gorgeous Jen Rottmann, who is a lifestyle blogger and coach with a mission to help you get clear on your purpose and path so you can be confident in kicking ass, being you, and live a beautiful life. Jen's core philosophy is to connect you back to your inner power so you can express your unique beauty in the world. We are chatting all things about how this amazing lady has finally found her purpose and was able to link up her energy and create the lifestyle that she used to dream about. I know this is something we all desire or we are working towards, so you are definitely going to love this chat. Just a reminder to hit subscribe so you are always in the loop when a new episode drops. Honestly, I'm so grateful that I could give you this time and content as you listen today. And remember to leave a heart-filled review and 5 sparkly stars if you are listening through iTunes, or leave your love-filled comments in the comment section below. By this process, you are contributing to my bigger vision and impact of inspiring and helping women just like you to grow their success and their mindset. And also don't forget to leave your Instagram handle so we can give you a shout out too and recognize you for your greatness. All right, let's get started. Hi, Jen. Hello.
Hi.
And guys who are listening, yes, I stuffed up my little intro, but if you've heard previous podcasts, look, I go on tangents, I mispronounce, I stuff up, and I swear. So I had to do it. Look, now I've done it in the intro. This is the beautiful Jen. How are you, Jen?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah. So I'm sitting in my office sweating because it's like 40 degrees still over in Australia in Perth, and Jen is on the other side of the globe. Where exactly are you again?
I'm just outside of Munich. So
Munich.
It's just, yeah. So we've, in the middle of winter, got a bit of snow.
So complete opposite. So I actually connected with Jen, and you're becoming a citizen of Australia, but you've flown back home for a little bit. So guys, we've got 2 different time zones happening right now. So I love this, right? I love, you're talking to me in the future and I'm talking to you in the past. We're time traveling.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so enough chit chat from me. So Jen, I just love everything about you, and we've connected and we've been talking, and what you're all about is so inspiring, and it just aligns so perfectly with what I believe in. So that's why you're so perfectly suited for the podcast. So we're going to talk about I know you've had many, babe, you've got these moments. I've had many, we all have, but we're connecting to pretty much probably your biggest, or the one that's got you to make those big changes, to step into, your purpose and your passion. So Can you paint the picture for us? Share a little bit about what was life like, quick rundown, what was the struggles, and what was the struggles and how was it like affecting you and your mindset?
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like you said, I think we all have lots of, like struggles, and you've got this moments in our life, but I wanted to talk about this one because I think so many other people have the same one. Like just to give a very quick background of me, I ran, like straight out of uni, I started my first business, and I was quite successful with it. So by the time I was, I think 26, 27, I already built like a 7-figure business. I had achieved so many of my goals. I set myself, I had my, that vision board, and I, literally ticked everything off. But I was just, at the same time, super unhappy. And by 29, I was like completely burnt out. And I was just, and for so long, I couldn't even figure out what was going, on. And I felt guilty about it because I was like, I should be feeling great. I have all these things. And, and I went through, I left that business and really went on my kind of spiritual path, if you want to, call it that. And because I was really searching, the reason I was in so much pain at that point for myself internally, that I was looking for, I was like, okay, it's not just about succeeding and achieving, because I've done that. I've pushed myself to achieve what I didn't think was possible. But that can't be it, because I didn't actually get the feeling that I really wanted, right? Like I got the material things outside of myself, but inside I was still feeling like shit. I think you said
Yeah.
you swear on your podcast. I'm
Oh,
gonna
you can swear as much as you like. If people don't like it, don't listen to the podcast. That's my
I try
rule.
not to, but I do. Like, the more passionate I get, the more I swear.
You've been spending too much time in Australia, babe. You get your
Yeah.
it's just part of our charm.
I know.
Anyway,
So
tangent,
yeah. So I really, I think my big, desire was, and I think so many people can relate to that, was I really wanted to do something that was my passion. And, I was like, I want to be successful, but also enjoy my life and be, passionate about what I was doing and have a bigger impact, something that really had more purpose, more meaning. So I kind of went on this, search, but and I kept trying, because I'm very entrepreneurial, I was like an overachiever, so I don't have any problem getting started on something. But I also have the same time this, like, these two energies. On the one end, being really driven and, go-getter and getting things done. At the same time, I was always really riddled with a lot of self-doubt and fear inside of me. And, and that would kind of cause these like back and forward. Do you mean like I'd get a little bit of success and then I kind of self-sabotage myself and go back again? And I think so many people can relate to that. And I for so long was always like searching for this. It's like, oh, what's my purpose? What's my path? And I had this like real fear of like not knowing what that was. And, for me, like I said, I've had many, you've got this big moments, but I think the big, kind of to put it in one picture, was really the more work I did on myself, the more I really started understanding that, all the confidence that I thought I had, like I always thought of myself as a quite confident person, but I came to I really got honest with myself and realized that all of that confidence was built just on things outside of myself. It wasn't actually within me. It was all down to not just the success and the money that I achieved, but more importantly for me personally, it was really about the validation that other people gave me. Like, I need validation from other people, which is why I was so good at sales, because I didn't really care about the money. I just cared about them liking me and them, do you mean like approving of me?
Yeah. Oh, babe, you are like speaking, this is everything that I've ever struggled with has come back down to needing validation.
Exactly. And you might have been, I mean, for me, that story comes from as well, like being, I think, the firstborn. Like, do you mean like I got a lot of attention?
Firstborn. Yeah.
And I see it even in my niece now, right? Like she's, the firstborn, and you're like, the poor child, like she gets all the love and attention. And that's obviously what they, you compute into your head is like attention is love, right? That's what you think. And that's what you then kind of start living, your life on. So for me, that realization of that, my confidence, that my love, do you mean, was outside of me, not within me. And, it seems really scary because your ego mind, like your fearful mind, doesn't want you to accept that.
Yeah.
So it feels really scary to go to those places. But the beautiful thing is, as soon as you do actually accept it, you probably know yourself, like you open up this room to actually fill the love up from within. And, this is where I really started getting that, what I like to call my inner power. And again, everybody has different words for it. I read spiritual books as much as I read psychology books, as I like reading neuroscience books, because I'm a real geek. I studied philosophy. Like, this is literally always been my passion. I love understanding the mind and how we interact as humans. So for me, the same story, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you want to believe in, neuroscience and the creative mind, or if you believe in a higher spirit or a higher power. But it's whatever story works for you. I always say to people, like, it's so important though to connect to something and believe in that inner power, whatever way you define that. Because once I did that, everything changed. And that's when I really found, my purpose. That's when I started going like, oh, that's when I really found that, had that, you've got this big moment. Because I was like, I know I'm meant to be a teacher, right? I know I'm meant to teach about confidence. I know I'm meant to teach about people feeling beautiful, because I used to literally a few years ago, I couldn't look at a picture without hating the way I looked. Today, I'm literally decided I'm going to be a model. Like, that's part of my art. Right?
I love it.
And I can genuinely look at a picture and I go, I think I look so beautiful. I can look at old pictures and think I really look beautiful. And because that comes from an inner acceptance. Because every single person, I think there's so much power, and especially for women, because it's the feminine energy, the power, like we have so much power when we connect to our inner beauty. And every single person is beautiful. Because for me, beauty really means, do you mean it's our expression, our unique expression of the love, the joy, our unique talents and gifts that we have. And when we express that, that's when we actually make a contribution to the world. And again, like because again, the reason I talk about those things is that they're all things that I struggled with. And as I'm accepting more and more of those things, the way I always explain is almost like my path and my purpose become clearer and clearer each day. And I think I wanted to share that story because I think that so many people, I think, feel like how I used to feel, which is that like there's that such intense fear of like not knowing what you're meant to do, like that frantic search for a purpose. That, like I think so many people in today's world where that you can see all the, you compare yourself to everyone on social media, everyone's making money on their passion. I want to do that too, but how, right? Like that's that question. And you get obsessed with all the things outside of yourself, like what are the strategies going to be, like, do you mean like what thing do I need? But really it's all about going inwards and finding that within yourself.
Oh, I love it. I'm like, I need to write notes down. This is so good. I'm going to be re-listening back to this podcast, this episode. And guys, what I love about this is, well, Jen, what I love about what you're saying, it's not even like you had this one particular moment. It was like you had a realization and it started to compound. You're like, hang on, if things really need to change, I talk about it all the time. It's you have to go within, you look in the mirror. The first place to start is what you see in the mirror, right? Going in and working on yourself. And it starts the snowball effect, or it's the catalyst. And then you start to realize like things start to layer and layer, and you have these more like aha moments. And then you kind of look back, like things happen like over time, and you kind of look back and you realize, shit, I was in this dark space. I kind of made a decision, but look how far I've come now, kind of thing. And I love that because, do you know what? I actually feel, and I've been there, where I sit and I wait, and it's like I am waiting for something to change. Like no matter wherever I am and wherever you are, like we do have moments where we're kind of like, okay, well, is someone going to come save us, or is something big going to happen? When's this big opportunity that I'm manifesting going to come into play? But the reality is we've got to get off our ass and do it ourselves and do the work from within. And how can we change our mindset and our beliefs and our story? Because our story, the story that we tell ourselves. I share this a lot, and I love this saying. I know you're going to love it too. Is we only exist because we think.
Yeah.
So with that means everything that's going on in our outer world is just a reflection of our inner world. So that's the place we got to start. And so many of us, and I've done this for years of my life, and I'm guilty. I still like do it now, but I recognize it, where I wait for my outside world to change before I'm going to feel better, or I'm going to have the confidence and love who I am. And it just doesn't work that way. And that, So I really love it. I feel like we can talk all day about this topic. You kind of did already explain like making this decision and going in with how it's already affected you. Now you found out why you're here. So I guess where I'd love for that to lead into is, what's your best piece of, you have talked about it, but let's get a bit more specific. What are maybe your top 1 to 3 pieces of advice for someone who's in a position right now who they don't know what their purpose is, and they feel like they need to have a purpose? Like we don't need to have a purpose right now. Like it will come. We don't want to like be beating ourselves up because we haven't worked out the meaning of our life, kind of thing. So if you for those listeners who are in that position, who are at crossroads or feels like they don't know what they're doing, they need some clarity, or they're waiting on something to happen outside of them, what's your best piece of advice or pieces of advice?
So the first thing would really be like, like you said, like we do need, human beings, we need purpose, right? Meaning and purpose is what we exist for. And I think when you don't like know your specific, but like I said, it's just, again, it's actually just a trick of your ego mind. Like you actually already, the biggest thing I think I can say to people is like, you actually already do know your purpose, and you already do know your path. The whole idea of like spiritual development, doing mindset development, whatever you want to call it, actually is just unlearning all the bullshit to get to the truth. Like you do have, and that took me such a long time. When people used to always say like, all the answers within you, I'd always be like, bullshit, I don't fucking know what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
I love it. I'm actually going to write that down. Unlearning all the bullshit.
Yeah, because it's all about life.
Unlearning.
That's why when you pick up a book or you listen to a podcast, when you hear like like if I think about all my great teachers, the people I admire and I inspire, like when the big aha moments come, it's because when I hear what they say, it actually, there's a truth within me. Like, do you mean like I go, I already know this, but it's like they've just said it in a way that it's almost like reminding me.
Yeah. It's that
And that's
reaffirmation. It's the
yeah.
reaffirmation. That's what it is.
And it is just because we believe, like I said, it's like, and all of us are, do you mean like as we come into the world, we just pick up all this stuff and we just haven't known any better. That's why humans are always evolving. And, you know, look at nature, it's always changing and it's always evolving. This is the time where we're also, you know, we're just evolving. We're consciously evolving.
Yeah.
And do you mean, so the biggest thing is that you actually, I think there's a lot of power in actually going, I already know. Do you mean? So every time you hear that voice and just going, actually, I already know, I need to know. And the biggest piece of advice, and this is what I do in all my trainings and everything that I put out, I always say to people, the most important part is just practice. That's why it's called a spiritual practice. That's why it's called a mindset practice. And even if you will only do 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day can change your life, because I promise you, if you would just commit to 5 minutes a day, first of all, you'll extend that 5 minutes because you'll start seeing your life change and good things will start coming in. And you'll want to, do you mean like my mindset practice now is, like I said, it's the most important thing in my life, because it always brings in more good and you get addicted to it. But even just 5 minutes of, you know, and whatever way you want to do it, if you want to just journal, right? Do some journaling. If you like meditation, do meditation. There's so many different ways of connecting with yourself and connecting to that power. And I always say to people, like, even just learning to ask questions, like, what, you know, if you're wanting to manifest money or you want to know what your purpose is, just ask, go like, please, you know, what is it? What is my purpose? Please, you know, uncreate, delete, and destroy anything that's in the way of me finding my purpose. And you'll be amazed how quickly you'll start getting clues show up in your life that are going to lead you down that path.
Yeah.
So,
so good. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's really helped me as well. Like the way often a lot of my clients or people I speak to, that really helps them as well. I always say to people, you know, create your own belief of what you think life is about. Like for me, I always think life is about, it's a game, right? We're playing a game. And what's the purpose of a game, right? It's to be entertained, to enjoy it. Like for me, I think life is about enjoyment and love. So, right, if everything was already perfect and you already knew your purpose and do you mean you knew everything? Like how boring would you, like there would be no reason for you to live your life.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. And you know, there's only happiness in growth. Humans are only happy when they grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. Stagnation is death, right? When I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, that's like harsh words, but it's so true. If we're not growing, we're dying. If we're not evolving, we're dying. And when you ask them, like so many people just love staying in their comfort zone. I love staying in my comfort zone, but death is in your comfort zone. I don't mean death is in like, you're going to just like actually die. It's a figure of speech. Well, look, if you stay in your comfort zone too long, if you lie in bed for too long, I'm sure your body's going to stop working.
To be honest, I mean, again, you know, this is my belief and I know not everyone agrees, but I even think that all our physical illnesses do come from, do you mean like the reason
we're not like, evolving? Yeah.
It comes from that because it's your emotions, like it's your spirit, like whatever that is, your consciousness, your spirit is getting stuck in your body. That's why I think there's a rise of, you know, the cancers and the Alzheimer's and all those things. I've actually just spent a bit of time with my grandma who's got dementia. Like it's interesting for me to watch. Do you mean that I can see, because I've done so much work on this, I can hear like her patterns that she doesn't think she's good enough, that she think, you know, her whole life she's obviously been told that she's stupid. That's what she keeps repeating because do you mean like her mind's deteriorated now, and now that's all she repeats. And it's, do you mean like, and there's actually beauty in it in a way as well, because she's, you know, like there's the truth.
Well, you know, that's exactly it. And I feel like this is another we'll do another podcast episode because we can go down a massive rabbit hole with this. And I love this stuff. Like I froth off this stuff. It's amazing. But that's it. It's the truth. And we're in an age of awareness. And that's why, like our listeners right now, people, those guys of you who are listening, you're only listening because you know this already. We know we're in an age of awareness. The people who don't want to wake up don't listen to this stuff. They don't pay attention to the conversations that's going on, things that are posted on social media. So first of all, congratulations to you guys who are listening, because you are starting to wake up. You're raising your consciousness and your awareness. And yeah, there's so much beauty in that, because like there's beauty and what's the opposite of beauty? Ugly in everything. There's a perfect balance of everything. And obviously knowing a lot can get us overthinking, but at the same time, it's what we choose to do with it, all what's going on in our head, which I really love where this went. Like it went from, I just love it. The flow of our little cat. I think it was really beautiful I feel like I just want to keep talking for ages, like hours and hours. What is like what's one thing that right now, so say I'm listening to this and I'm like, oh my gosh, Jen, like you're speaking to me. It's like you're looking at me in the eyes. I know exactly what you're saying. Like, what's something I can go and implement right now or like today?
Yeah. So my biggest thing would be really do start a practice, like literally like commit and write it in your calendar. Like right now, like stop the podcast and start journaling, right? Like whatever. I even just am a big believer, if you don't know what to write, just write on the top of the page, I don't know what to write, and just keep writing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and something will come out. Yeah.
Oh, it's that's what stream of consciousness writing is. Like I write sometimes and I go, where the hell did this stuff come from? Right? Like I'm stuck on something and I just put pen to paper, or I'll go, if you like meditate, like I love meditating. So I have certain, my go-to meditations I go to, and things lift, right? Like, because our mind, like I said, the answers are actually already there. Like, or even if you just close your eyes and ask yourself a question that you want the answer to, you'll be amazed.
It does come. Yeah.
It comes. And that's my biggest thing that I would say to people is really just start a practice, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. And journaling is probably one of the easiest ones to just say to people, just pick up a pen and write, and do that at least 5 minutes a day. Just even if it's just observing your day, like how did I feel today? Like what was going on? Like asking questions. And the other one, the biggest one that I really think for me changed a lot is, there's so many things that we need to obviously, loving ourselves and learning an abundance mindset, but getting rid of judgment is probably one of the biggest things that changed me, because when you get judgment is one of the core things of fear.
Yeah.
And you don't realize how much we judge other people, how much we judge ourselves. And that's really the reason we often can't develop as quick as possible, because, if you start doing a mindset practice, but then you forget it a day and you judge the shit out of yourself.
Yeah, we do. And you beat yourself up. And it's just, it doesn't matter. It's just it's being like, whatever you do is perfect in that moment. And if we forget, like, I don't do my perfect morning ritual every single day, especially weekends. I love to sleep in. I'll still do some practices, but there's you've got to be kind to yourself. It's just about, the universe doesn't recognize what you say, it recognizes how you show up. So it's not about talking the talk, it's walking the walk. So it's about how you choose to show up. And that's it. Like, show up for yourself, showing up for yourself, and making that a practice. I love it. Well, that is what we have time for today on this episode, and I love it. And Jen's Instagram and website and all her details are going to be in the notes section, guys, and also listed in our Instagram posts that we do. So you're going to be able to find Jen, and oh my gosh, just follow her. She's amazing. Check into all the work that she does. She's such an incredible teacher and coach, and I love it. I love all the stuff you have to give. And I think we'll be back again. We'll definitely be back again for another episode, because there's so many bits in there that, guys, you might be like, oh my gosh, so much information. To me, that was just dot points of like 10 different podcast topics that we can talk about. So I love it. We'll definitely be hearing more from Jen. So thank you so much, Jen, for giving us your time. We really appreciate it. And
thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
That's all right. I hope you had fun. And guys, don't forget to leave your review and give us those 5 sparkly stars. And the review, just to remind you, the review, it's not me trying to nag you to leave a review. It's when you leave a review, you are opening up this platform for more women to see and hear what they need to hear. Share it on your social media, tag us in your Instagram story. We'll reshare you, we'll promote you, and spread the love to the rest of the social media world. So it's very important that we do that practice in sharing this information, because we just don't know whose life it's going to change. So again, thank you again, Jen. Thank you for everyone. I hope you're having the most amazing day, and we will chat in the next episode.